What's up?
What's up?
What video you gonna record?
Huh?
What video you gonna record? I'm just teasing. Where are we at?
Library?
We are at the library. Why are we at the library?
So that we can return some of my books.
Well, and it's important to teach your children to read.
It is.
It's very, very important. So keep that in mind, all you parents. That will work. Alright. Thanks for joining us back here on Just Conspiracy, where we just wish to conspire with all other good people of this planet to leave a better world for future generations than the world we all grew up in. I actually had planned on making like a for real long video, kind of telling a story, like half an hour, explaining law like, typically I do. But really, this whole situation has been emotionally and mentally draining because I just can't believe my eyes on what people are actually doing, believing, and saying. And I see a whole lot of groupthink going on. Anyways, the shaman, after saying that he was going to walk away and disappeared, he showed up for the first time on the Telegram group that was made by Andrew for me right after I got kicked off. And, it's not that I'm really bitter about that. Everybody has free will. But here's really what's going on. Shelly was a new member. She was trying to ask, like, hey, does anybody have a form? Do they have something I could fill out? Do they have this or that? And, Adam gave her a really good answer. He's like, you got to stick with it. You got to learn it. It's got to be on your heart. You got to create your own stuff. I really like that answer. That was probably something like what I would give. Anyways, Shaman, Sean Mann comes on and gives her this answer and says, hey, you gotta have this creator, you have to have this trust with the creator, and the more you believe it, the more it becomes a reality, and then you'll just understand one day that you have a living trust with the creator and your property and offspring. But that was way, way too much of an explanation for a beginner person to get. The thing is that I really love that Sean talks about having a relationship with the creator, because he talks about it being real. Well, if you know the creator is real, then you know the creator's law is real. And if you know the creator's real, you wouldn't break the creator's law. Now, there was someone else named Sean Kennedy. Okay? Now, Sean Kennedy asked a question about somebody coming by for a permit for the house, for a project, I guess. And Sean Mann says, well, did you ask for a lawful warrant? As if they know what the elements of a lawful warrant are. Sean Mann did not describe what the elements of a lawful warrant are. In fact, he tells them to go put in a scheduling fee, which I've never advised to do that. I've never seen that play out well, ever in my entire life. And then he tells them that when they come back with the warrant, he needs to make sure that the name's spelled right. It's not in all capitals. It doesn't say Mr. It doesn't do this. It doesn't do that. That is what I call playing the name game. And even Sean Mann himself has said on the show multiple times that if you play the name game with a cop on the side of the road, they are going to beat the crap out of you and take you to jail. And he should know, because he used to be a cop. Now, I don't know personally, but here's what I do know. I do know how COINTELPRO works and how the feds work. And typically, when they wish to infiltrate a movement, they do things that look very, very similar to this. I'm not saying that's what's going on. I'm just saying I'm retarded because I used to make a living doing what I did and running the streets. But when the feds infiltrated the Black Panthers, this is how they did it. Now, we talk a lot about law, and the law is on your heart. Well, see, the government says that the Constitution's the law, and the Constitution's what gives you rights. And our argument is, well, if the government can give you rights in the Constitution, then they can take away your rights, which they're doing on a daily basis, because they're not really rights, they're privileges. Well, if God writes the law on your heart, and he has the ability and the authority to write law on your heart, then he has the ability and the authority to take the law off of your heart. And the only reason the Creator would take the law off of your heart is because you're breaking it. I don't believe Sean Mann is giving these answers because he doesn't know them in law. I believe he has given those wrong answers because the Creator has taken the law off of his heart. Anyways, we are just conspiracy. We just wish to conspire with other good people of the planet to leave a better world for future generations like this little man right here.
Hello.
Than the world we all grew up in. One world, love and peace.
You know.
Hey, I'm going to address this right now, okay? Like, from my point, and I'm going to start it off like this. When I was up in Tennessee, Sean was all like, man, I hope you don't think I'm working behind your back, I'm really not, I'm on your side, this and that. I didn't think anything of it, I figured it's like, this is his backyard, whatever. When I got done with being sick, like when I was starting to recover from COVID, and of course I called Sean, like he was actually one of the first calls that I made. And I don't remember if it was on the first call or the second call, I just don't remember. But, he was talking to me again about the same thing and how he was talking to you and JD, about basically saying this. And just with who I am fundamentally and my past experiences, like being on the street, you start hearing somebody talk about that, like that to you. And it's like, what's going on? You're setting me up. Something's going on.
I'm not following.
The way he was talking about how he was talking to you and saying what he said to me in Tennessee, which was that he hopes that I don't think he is working behind my back in some kind of way, that he's still my friend, he's still doing this, he's still doing that, he's just going a different direction. And honestly, like from my point, it's we are going to go a different direction. I personally, after having worked with Sean for 4 years, and you can think whatever you wish to think about Sean. Dude, I have had Sean tell me I'm going to hell on the show for what I believe in and the fact that I don't believe in his Christ.